Story 1, Secrets Under the Moon. In a small, picturesque village among the hills lived a girl named Anna. Her life was peaceful and cozy. She worked at the local library, dreaming of one day writing her own novel. Anna loved her boyfriend Maxim, who owned a small cafe. They had been dating for several years and were making plans for the future. One day, while Anna was working, a new reader came to the library, tall, with golden hair and mysterious eyes. His name was Daniel, and he had just moved to the village. Anna immediately felt a spark, but quickly turned away thoughts about what could be wrong. She was devoted to Maxim. However, an unexpected meeting with Daniel in the town square started a storm of emotions in Anna. They began to talk, discussing books and art. Each of their conversations was like an eclipse. No one else existed in the world around them. Anna could not help but notice how quickly the attraction between them flared up. Over time, her friendship with Daniel began to develop into something more. One day, while walking under the moon, they hugged, and at that moment Anna realized how much she was drawn to him. She began to doubt her love for Maxim. The feelings came unexpectedly and she tried to fight them, but the internal struggle became more and more difficult. A few weeks later, before Anna even knew it, the betrayal happened. She spent the night with Daniel, and when she woke up in his arms, she felt not only joy, but also a huge burden of guilt. She had to decide something. She decided to tell Maxim everything and, meeting him at their favorite place, under a spreading tree, began to explain what had happened. Maxim was devastated, his heart cracked with pain. He could not believe that the girl he loved was with another. He left, and it was as if the light went out in Anna's eyes. However, despite this unbearable situation, a desire to correct her mistakes arose in Anna's heart. She was torn between two men, Daniel, with whom she had a strong connection, and Maxim, who had known her since childhood. In the end, Anna made a choice. She returned to Maxim, realizing that true love requires selfless. Story 2, Summer. At the end of the world, Lyra always dreamed of adventures and travel. Working in an office in Moscow, she felt that life was passing her by. One day, she finally decided to take a risk. Together with her friends, she went on a tropical trip to an island where many mysteries and secrets lived. On the island, she met Andrei, a charismatic surfing instructor who immediately attracted her attention. Lyra was married to Nikolai, but something in her life did not suit her. She began to think that her feelings for her husband were gradually fading. Passion flared up between Lyra and Andrei. Every evening they met by the lagoon, exchanging glances, forgetting about the world around them. On one of those evenings, under the starry sky, they kissed. A second, and the world around them froze. Lyra understood that she was cheating on her husband, but she could not resist this feeling. Doubts arose in her soul: should she stay with Nikolai or completely surrender to this new and unfamiliar feeling with Andrei? With each day spent on the island, Lyra became more and more confused in her thoughts. At some point, she realized that she could not continue to live like this. But her feelings for Andrei grew stronger. When the day of departure came, Lyra knew that she had to make a choice. She met Andrei for the last time, and in their conversations the thought of staying together slipped through. At that moment, she realized that there really was something special between them. But having left the girl who oppressed her heart, she could not leave Nikolai, whom she trusted and who was always there. Lyra returned home, full of conflicting emotions. She opened her soul to Nikolai, deciding that she had no right to continue with him, deceiving herself. In the end, she broke off the relationship, but meetings with Andrei remained forever in her heart. Story 3, Love on the Third Floor. Masha worked as a designer in a large company in the city center. She was happy with Sasha, who was her first and only protege, but the romance eventually evaporated. During the work process, Masha met Roman, a colleague with bold ideas and charisma, who blew up her world. With each passing day, they communicated more and more, and Masha felt a special connection growing between them. When she stayed late one night to work, a spark flew between them. Under the neon lights of the office, they kissed. It was intoxication with passion, and Masha realized that she could no longer ignore her feelings for Roman. The state of guilt stretched out when she could not complete her relationship with Sasha, who still loved her, even if their romance was fading. Masha became nervous, realizing that she was leading a double life. Every time she met Roman, it became more and more difficult for her. She understood that she had to choose, although the choice was painful. Finally, on the day when she was going to tell Sasha the truth, fate played a cruel joke on her. Sasha saw her with Roman. He felt betrayed and humiliated. Masha was left alone with terrible bitterness from the mistake she had made. She realized that her love affairs had only led to destruction. Story 4, Harmony and Dissonance. Valentina always considered herself lucky. She had a successful career in architecture, a stable marriage with Vladimir and wonderful children. But one day, at a professional conference, she met Alexei, a talented architect, whose ideas inspired her and gave her new emotions. Gradually, her friendship with Alexei began to develop into something more. Their joint design work led to Valentina spending more and more time with him. She chose the path of betrayal when one day, working late, they found themselves alone in the office. In their arms, a passion flared up that was unexpected and unpredictable for her. For the next few months, Valentina lived in confusion. She felt guilty before Vladimir and the children, but at the same time she was immersed in a new, bright world that Alexei created for her. At the risk of losing everything she had, she slowly realized that she could not live like this anymore. At one point, just one look at her family made Valentina ask herself, what really matters? She realized that true harmony can only be found in love for family, and that the fables about two dreams are just distant illusions. Story 5, Deceptive Happiness. Christina had been dating Nikita for 4 years. He was her first love, but due to their routine lifestyle, their relationship was becoming more and more predictable. When Christina went to a cooking class, she met Stanislav, a teacher with an unusual approach to life. It was impossible not to notice Stanislav's warmth and charisma. They started talking, which soon developed into a secret affair. Christina was happy, but her emotions brought her to breaking points. Her feelings for Nikita began to fade, and although they talked to him many times, her thoughts were increasingly occupied by Stanislav. However, soon the bright moments turned into a dark shadow. One day, returning home to Nikita, she realized that he knew about her betrayal. Christina realized that her happiness was deceptive. At that moment, when she realized that she had lost trust, she managed to apologize to Nikita. She decided that she had to give their relationship a chance. Given the painful experience, Christina understood that love requires honesty, and now her heart belongs only to Nikita.